I grew up here in this nightclub. My mother was a stripper. I saw a lot of crazy things. You have a lot of drug addiction, you a lot of prostitutes, but also artists, very successful people. And I was nights out as a young kid. You have to decide what you really want. And I decided because I want this way. I want to train. I was working the whole night. Now I'm sitting here, 3 hours of sleeping. Then I want to train and then I sleep again. Then again, a new Saturday night.
Welcome in another episode of STAREDOWN Show. Today from the one and only Pik Dame in Frankfurt, because my guest is Max Coga. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Mad Max Coga, unwritten mayor of Frankfurt, or at least the red light district here. MMA fighter, PFL veteran, big name in Germany, and the owner of this epic club. Tell me, maybe, because we are filming here, I'm curious, the story of this place, because it's so unique in many ways. Everyone talking about it. What is it about? How come we are
How
here?
to grow up here? I mean, there's so many stories, but let's start with the first story. I mean, for all the spectators, you have to know, I grew up here in this nightclub. My mother was a stripper. This club is founded in 1959 from my grandfather. Then my father continued. Now I'm here, the head in third generation.
Wow.
And like I said, my mother was a stripper. My father was extremely young. They found each other and
here
produced me. Yeah, somewhere here in the corner. I guess in the corner. No, you can't imagine. It's a lot of stories, a lot of crazy people. But
so
as a child, it was always great. I saw a lot of crazy things, a lot of reality, tough times. But end of the day, it was perfect because it's part of my character, it's part of me, and this is why I love it so much to be here.
It's crazy. And it was right here where you grew up? Like you lived here in this building, or when you was small kids?
Yes, I was here, and my mother got a club, 2 streets in this direction, you know, and so I was as a kid walking from left to right, playing with my mother. Go to the right, visiting my father. My grandparents lived above the club, and this and all what is between those clubs, you know, you have a lot of drug addiction, a lot of prostitutes, but also artists, crazy people, very successful people, and all in this microcosmos here in this area. So it was somehow always, extremely exciting for me.
What do you think it give it to you? It must shape you different than in other kids, I would say. What is it that...
I mean, I started very early to understand some really important things. And the most important thing is that people, or in this case, I understood that I need structure. And sports give me that structure, because left and right are a lot of negative things, you know, negative opportunities, like for instance drugs, a lot of drugs are in nightlife.
Because who was your buddies when you was young here in this area? You was hanging out as a kid with who?
A lot of kids. I mean, you're playing with each other, you're training with each other, and the kids I grew up with, they're still on my side, and we're extremely close. But you have from different communities, you know, you have a Turkish community, a Greek community, and there are a lot of workers, and they also have kids. Mm-hmm. They need to play somewhere, and if you grow up here, you have to find your spots where to play, where is it possible to play.
Because
and then you find friends. You can find always friends when you love music, when you love sports, and that's that.
And I'm so curious about this childhood in this area. So there was all the strip clubs and everything, and this place when you was young, it was like now the music club, or?
Oh, it changed. I mean, Pik Dame exists over 60 years, around 65 years right now. And you have this club, it's important that you go with the time. You cannot sleep. You can't you cannot have the same style of the club for years, the same concept. So at the beginning it was like a cabaret, like a nightclub. So you came in, you see some nice shows, and those shows were like stories. You know, you see like a wedding, she get a letter. I was the kid bringing the girl the letter, and she read it, and then she was sad because the husband won't come to the wedding, and then she starts to make like a erotic dance, striptease, but on an artist way. So the body, presenting the body naked on an artistic way. So, and I was from the beginning always with my mother. She explained me everything. So it was not like, it's somehow strange. I understood that, okay, a woman's body is something nice, something to respect. And after a while, the second generation of Pik Dame, my uncle and my father, they switched because they need to switch. And they turn it into a strip club. Like then that time it's like you came in, you have some shows, and you try to get champagne, for instance, from the clients. Then you're talking, and it's between, you know, like a go-go club, table dance, and you know, prostitution in the houses are legal. So somewhere between. This was the nightclub. And then 4 years ago, it was my time. After Corona, we build up that place and we make this concept house out of it. So right now we have 13th flat, and in every flat are people working for me here in Pik Dame. There's no stranger in this building. So the concept is that you want to be a part of this Pik Dame family. This is the reason why you live in the Pik Dame house, and this is the reason why the elevator goes directly down to the club, and it's
so
like
you
a
go
huge
from
family.
your apartment just directly between dancing people.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes I need to eat my diet food, go down to the electronic area, and it's extremely jumping around those worlds. As a sportsman, it's crazy. I cannot recommend that young people go out nightlife, working in nightlife, because nightlife is also dangerous. But I'm a person, I grew up in this
world.
In this world, yes. So for me, it's normal. And I make the newest concept of Pik Dame is like we have a club, like the club in club. So in this area, here's like the main stage. You can listen to every kind of music, like hip hop or dance classics. And downstairs is like club in club. So there's like techno, electronic music, and people like it because you have good people. I don't have entrance, so it's always about communication, the good vibe, bring the good vibe inside, and you have this upstairs, a different world than downstairs, and everywhere is great music, great people, and it's fun. And then imagine you work with your family and friends. This is a special situation, and I really love it. I really love it.
Amazing, amazing. Like a family business.
It is a family business, It's a privilege to run a family business these times.
And how you connected with the career of professional MMA fighter? Because you have 35 fights on the high top level. You fought in PFL. Now you'll be fighting in OKTAGON. And you are an NFC champion, like great career, but also doing this, like how you can combine it, even with the thing, like you said. Tell me how is this, and then I have more questions about that.
You have to decide what you really want. I don't have like family, like wife or kids. And I decided because I want this way. I want to train. Imagine, I was working the whole night. Now I'm sitting here, 3 hours of sleeping. And then I want to train. And then I sleep again. And then I go to the venue, Saturday night. And then again, a new Saturday night. This is my life. I grew up like this, and my body is used to it. And it's not easy because you know how it is when you're extremely tired. You want to wake up, but it's like, wow, fuck it. I want to stay in bed. But I have my goals, I have my visions, and I follow these dreams, and it gives me energy. So I know I need to stand up because I have training, and I train for a reason, and that's it.
And about your goals and visions, like what are your goals and visions?
I want to inspire people, man. I want to inspire young kids. I could never, how can I say, when you ask myself when I was 18, 19, hey, you become a mixed martial arts champion, you become owner of this, you run some businesses very successful. I was a kid, I was thinking, man, how is that possible? But step by step it grows, and I was following those dreams. I said to a very, very close friend, I want one day that Pik Dame, we build it somehow new, and we place every person who's close to me there, and we're working together, we're living together. And now, after 10 years, it becomes reality. And they are like, it's the same with sports. I was like, I love jiu-jitsu, I love MMA. It's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. How nice would it be to fight for titles, to fight in public, to fight in Frankfurt? It's a dream. But this is, like I said before, I want to inspire people. Everything is possible when you dream it, when you follow your dreams, and you work hard, and you know what you're doing. This is why I said, if you need to stand up for your dream, you need to stand up. And that's sometimes it's really easy.
So now you achieved, you become a champion in MMA. You build this unique place, work with family and friends, as you said.
Yeah, and I did some foundations in Africa. I did a foundation here for kids to push kids in the right direction, to push kids into music, to push kids into sports, physical education, to bring in multicultural. Like I have a music studio, and I have right now. There was a refugee from Ukraine because of war. He's coming to and ask for a job. And after a while, I realized, hey, this kid, he has really serious skills as a DJ, electronic music, really serious skills. And then we were working together, talking together. And right now, he's a main act on Ibiza, playing there the whole season. You see, they're like, if there is a person, see, hey, there's potential, I want to help. I'm this person. And this is why I deeply believe in music and sports, bringing people together, and nothing counts. No religion, no borders, no countries. It's like, you know.
Because I know you are very often in Africa, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And you are building there something, but I'm still not sure what's that. It's a sport facility, or what's that thing? It's in Tanzania?
Yes, Tanzania, Zanzibar, exactly. And it's a foundation with one of my closest friends, Daniel Weichel. And we bought a huge plot at the ocean, and we built there a training facility, but also for retreats, for workshops, for...
Because I always see on Instagram with some kids and local people with these poor kids.
We're boxing, we're working with them, we're having fun with them, and bringing this MMA sports to Africa. And you know, you have 10 kids, maybe one kid is making it. And if not, the rest of the 9 kids have the best thing to do for the rest of their life. They can do sports, they train, MMA, everything. You know, also after my career, I will always take part in the sport somehow. And
where did this happen? Like,
I love it. I felt so much in love with the sport.
You was always like that as a kid?
What do you mean? Like fighting-wise, or this kind of...
Like always, close to sport or fighting? Like how it happened? Like you started fighting?
I was extremely inspired by Street Fighter, by Dragon Ball, by Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sylvester Stallone. And, you know, it was never like this that my father or my mother, they weren't together. I was creating by, how can I say, by sensual seductions. I was, as a kid, a lot of times alone. And as a kid, I was thinking by myself, okay, let's check some movies. Nobody's here. And then I was checking Van Damme movies, Sylvester Stallone. I was inspired by those fighters, by those role models or heroes. And then, as a young kid, I said to myself, I really want to become a hero for some people, for myself. And then, if you do something for it, you act it, you behave like...
And
one
so
day you become
as a young kid, you dream about it, like one day I will be like them, like a hero.
I mean,
for someone else.
I mean, it was not like to have this kind of schedule that at this age I have to be like there. But I was deeply inspired. I never want to be like I want to be rich or I want to have money or this car. I always was like I want to be able to fight.
Okay.
Yeah, if there is something, I want to have the skills, these kicks, you know.
So I'm imagining,
Yes,
Van Damme. Yeah.
Exactly.
But as I imagine,
I still want to make a Van Damme party. I'm always with the manager in contact, writing, hey, is it possible to get him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as I imagining your younghood, your mom didn't take you with hand to some local karate club or jiu-jitsu. How you start with the combat sports, like?
You know, my
By
mother is
yourself?
from South America. She's from the favelas of Buenos Aires, Moreno. And she came here, and the only goal for her was that her kids get good school education. For this, she needs to work. And that was the main goal for her. Then, the next thing was she wants that the character is strong. And when I was 6 years old, there was a guy bullying me. In the primary school. And I was telling that my mother, hey, there's this fat guy, he always slaps me, he took my food, what can I do? And she's really hard. She said, hey, if you want to be weak, then accept it. If you want to change something, you have to learn to fight. Then she took me to this karate school, and this is where I start.
So
and
it
it
was
was
like
like
that.
great. I have this suit, the belt, and it was like the first moments of living this hero dream somehow, and it was nice. I mean, as a kid, you can't. Yeah.
I mean, even that sounds inspiring. What your mom said to you, like because she had such a hard background.
She had a hard background, really, but she's tough. My mother's a real fighter. She's always looking for solutions. She's never claiming, we have this problem and this. It's frustrating. I mean, if you're a mom, have 3 kids, you have no man on your side, and you're working for all those 3 kids, that you can go on good schools, that you can follow your dream. This is why I love my mother so much. She has less time because she's working at night. During the day, she needs to sleep. But we have a close, bound with each other, and I only have respect. But she was always following this way of toughness.
From favela, yeah.
Out of the comfort zone, to grow, you need to challenge yourself, and you only can do it like with sport activities. It's the easiest way to learn about yourself.
Definitely. And from karate, how it continues, like?
I started karate, and in this kind of areas, you have to fight multiple times as a kid. And because every kid was doing something, every kid here in the red light district want to fight, act like he's harder, the boss, whatever. And then my mother was afraid that maybe I'm a little bit too curious, I'm a little bit too open-minded. And then she said, okay, this kid is 11 years old. He needs to go on a boarding school. He needs to get harder structure, because I was nights out as a young kid. Nobody controls me. It was not like that I want to do some dirt somewhere, or to make bad things or criminal things. I mean, I was a kid, but I was outside, and she was afraid because she was working. What is doing this kid? Yeah.
So during the nights here in you were hanging out.
It's crazy. Imagine
night.
it's 2 o'clock in the night. I was walking around and checking some stuff, buy a Snickers, come back home and chill. It's crazy.
Alone?
Alone, completely alone. Sometimes with my little brother, he was a baby. It's crazy. When I'm thinking about it, it's crazy. How is that possible that she allows me that? But then she said, okay, this kid needs to go on a boarding school. And a school where you sleep 4 days a week, and then you come back home. And it was good for me. And that time, I also started judo. So I have this combination of karate and judo. And then it's getting more crazy when I'm visiting my big brother. He was living in Japan that time. And that was the moment I saw the first time for my life, Pride, MMA. And it was like, what the fuck? It's crazy what I'm doing. They're kicking to the head.
Yeah,
how stupid can a human be? I was shocked. I was really shocked. I saw Wanderlei Silva against Mirko Krokop.
Yeah,
and it was like,
legendary.
What is that? This is crazy. It's crazy as fuck. But I couldn't stop watching it. it was more and more and more, and the doors open, and I get again, like, you know, infected by MMA because it was so open-minded. I realized very fast that you have to understand more than one or two martial arts. So you have to collect a lot of knowledge to be a real MMA fighter. And then I was on my Kung Fu. You know, it was my Kung Fu time. I did Wing Chun, China boxing, all those stuff. Follow the snake, the crane, everything. And then I went with 18 on an amateur MMA tournament. It was really underground. That time, you know, from UFC, Peter Sobotta, Nick Hein, everybody was competing there. And a Russian Sambo guy broke my arm, you know? And it was like crazy. I was thinking by myself, I'm a great fighter. But it was an illusion. And then, okay, if you want to compete somehow in MMA, you have to train the real things what are important for this kind of fighting. So, and then I start training jiu-jitsu, went to Brazil, and then this is what is hard with me. If I decide I want to do it, I do it 150%. There's no like, okay, I try, I give everything. If there is success, it's great. If not, it's also okay because I give 100%. I tried it really.
And you learned.
Yes. And that was the beginning of everything, you know. Then
You've been in Brazil, you
yes,
said? Yeah.
I was multiple times in Brazil to learning some jiu-jitsu. And then it starts, I met Christian.
How was it there? Like, was it good? Like, gives you a lot? Like...
Yes. You know, that time, like 15 years ago, you have some spots for training, jiu-jitsu or grappling. MMA was kind of different because then you went to a boxing school, but it's not MMA striking. It's like boxing, amateur boxing. And
there was no real MMA that time.
No, it was not real MMA. Yeah. And then Christian Eckerlin came. I met him. We trained before a couple of times. He said, hey, let's go to the US, to CSW, Los Angeles. Let's make a training camp. Then I said directly, come on, let's go. And that time we were training together, and I came back, and then I heard some rumors about a huge MMA gym, and it was like, wow, if Frankfurt get a new MMA gym, I'm the happiest kid you can imagine. And then MMA Spirit in 2010 opened the doors, and I went the first week, and my physiotherapist Tufan make my contract, and I was member till that day.
Till now?
Till today.
It's 14 years.
Yeah.
And you also, like, you remember Ivan Buchinger here, right?
Ivan.
Part of
my bratko Ivan. Yes. I met so great people. I get so great experience.
And what do you think is so special about MMA Spirit? Because you came in and you instantly feel like this is different. You feel the community. It's like... At least I feel it always when I'm in. Like, you're so close, you, Christian, Stefan, even how Ivan Buchinger was talking about MMA Spirit, always so nice, how you support each other. What do you think it's like?
You know,
why is that?
It's really a family. And, you know, at the beginning I was underestimating how it is to become a professional, because I was on some amateur tournaments, and I was trying myself, also amateur MMA, and it was good. But Niels really made me as a professional, because he said, hey, listen, kid, you have to follow some rules. You have to follow a schedule. You have to follow this. And then step by step, I become more professional. But I wasn't the only one. There were a couple of guys also going this way. And it was a lot of pressure. It was really hard times. But, you know, a fighting career is like this, you know, and you're getting really close to each other, because as high you can fly, as deep you can fall. And if you have still the same guys next to you, this is like family. It's a really bulletproof gym, a really bulletproof friendship with all those guys. They're like my family. I'm all day long for years with those guys. It's more. And this gym gives me a future. This gym gives me opportunity for lives through this sport, and I'm extremely thankful for this. And like I said, I'm loyal. Though I will never forget what this gym gives me for opportunities. And like I said, this is what I want to give the youth back, because inspiration, a lot of things are possible, even you cannot see them, the options, but they are there, still there, through this sport, through this way.
So, what's next for Max Coga?
What's next for Max Coga?
I mean,
yeah, I hope some new chaos, you know.
because I mean, like, because obviously you are not the youngest.
Yeah.
You will not fight forever.
It's the last chapter of my career,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Every fight could be the last fight because I'm following that feeling. It's not necessary that I'm fighting. I don't need to fight. It's really, I want to fight. I love to fight, and as long I have this feeling, I will fight. But every fight could be the last fight. So I'm following this feeling. If I step in or I start my preparation, I have this feeling, this fire burns. I want
If
this.
you have this desire always there,
then I do it. When I feel this feeling, it's over, I will stop.
Okay, but it's still there.
It is.
Fire.
It's extremely there.
And
the fire is there because there are some big fucking opportunities, and they will be historical. So
now
I
when this will go out, we can talk about it. It's already released. So so we will fight in Eintracht Stadium, Deutsche Bahn Park.
Yes, imagine that. Imagine that. Man, I was there the first time when I was like, I don't know, 12, 13, checking Eintracht Frankfurt, how they play, and I was like, what is this? It was the first time I stepped into a stadium. The first stadium I have ever stepped in was Waldstadion, the Deutsche Bank Park now.
Really?
And it was like, wow. Somehow it's so close, but somehow it's like so gigantic. You have to realize where you are. Imagine now, when I'm thinking back, imagine now that I'm fighting there. It's like crazy. It's historical. It's monumental because it's not the biggest thing ever in Germany.
Yeah.
It's
one of the
like
biggest
also,
in the world.
It's one of the biggest events.
And if when we were filming yesterday their promo video with you, you had your own moment when you like stop and like feel it, you like try to be there present and imagine it like, okay, full of people, and you will walk in through this doors and people will be here. You was imagining that or not?
Yes, of course.
Yesterday, like, how was it? What was? Can you describe it?
I step in and I'm always need to be like free from everything, and I check, I watch around, breathe the air, and thinking, man, this is highest level you can get, and it's in Frankfurt. It's historical. Be a part of this chapter is 14, 15 years of career. To get to this point, it's special. It's special. It's crazy.
What are you expecting from it? Like how are you imagining? Like, who will be there? Like, for example, your support. And what do you think? Like, how it will be? Like,
this will be the greatest event ever in MMA history, for German MMA history.
And for you personally,
it is the maximum. It's Frankfurt, 55,000 people.
And who will be there? You think for
everybody will be there. Everybody who's missing this should be crazy. Hey,
crazy. Do you think it can be overwhelming for you when you like exit the tunnel? Now the arena is your turn.
You mean like
your
pressure?
Music? Yes.
Like, no. How it's a huge motivation. We talked about that fire, and now because of this, the fire is so huge. I really want to start my preparation now because of that. It's crazy. I have to be, patient. But end of the day, when you think about your life, those moments are those moments you remember.
Yeah,
so this, I'm pretty sure when I'm thinking about my career, fighting in this stadium will be one of the greatest.
But about your career, like, which was your darkest moment? You would tell, like, because you said it's up and down. What was your toughest moment?
I need to understand what is the real meaning of fighting, and there were some moments I need to develop myself new. And there was like I had 3 years winning streak, 9 fights winning row, and it was about going to the UFC or maybe to M1 Global, and I took a fight in London, and I lose it after seconds. And it was like crazy. How is that possible? Because you truly believe in yourself that you can beat everybody. And then it was like, fuck. Now the dream is over. Somehow it's crazy.
Because MMA is so cruel in this, right?
9 victories and then losing, bam, over. And it was like, it's not like today that it's hard. It's really hard. And then I talked to my manager Niels and I said, please let me fight. And he said, hey, you know, there's an offer from M1 Global. It was talking about going to Russia or going to US, you know, and Russia still is interested in me. And I was said, okay, let's take this fight. And I took that fight. And again, after seconds, I lost. And it was like, okay, Niels said, okay, listen, kid, you need to have a break. You need to have a break for a couple of months. And it was 6 months, 6 months break. He said, you have to think about, you have to calm down. And it's too much.
What you did?
No, 2 times losing. And I was asking myself, maybe the life wants to explain you, hey, stop this. Maybe lives say, hey, okay, it's over. Now you have to. And then I need to realize, no, it's my decision. I need to grow on these problems. I want to fight out of these holes. And then that was the time when I become like multiple times Superior FC champion. And fought a lot of strong guys, got again this win streak and went after that to PFL. So, end of the day, I was thankful for those dark moments because only because of those dark moments I could grow.
But what did you change? Like, for example, what was the thing you think that caused it, these losses? Because sometimes it's like you are going through something in your life, personal life, and you are not in good like mental state, so you lose fights. Or what do you think was wrong, and how you change it?
Honestly, always mental things. Always mental things. You know, that time when it was about getting this step, it was like in my mind, I was very young. I was thinking, oh, no, I'm fighting against the real sharks. Can I handle it or not? And it's crazy because I was training that time with Dale Weichel. He was world champion of M1. I mean, if I can spar with him, I can spar with everybody on this planet. There's no difference, you know? And only mental things. And
so what was wrong that you lost, you think? Because you was too much self-confident?
No, it was like I was, you know, I got too much respect at the time.
Okay,
maybe for big names, big promotions.
Okay.
And then the next holes always was like, you know, but it goes in the right direction, that you build your character. This is what fighting is about. Building your character, finding solutions, and also for your character. So if I was cocky, man, are you crazy? How can you be cocky? There's always like a difference. Respect every opponent. If you like afraid because you're fighting a guy, he has a big name, he's a human being. You can beat everybody on this planet. There's nobody you cannot beat. So you really have to realize that, and you have to bring those, understand? Can I say it?
Like
those results through the fight.
Okay.
And that's the thing, because fighting, there's pressure, adrenaline, you know, it's extremely chaotic on an emotional way. So you have to build again a new structure, a new stronger character, a new version of yourself, and then you can go for it. And this is, I mean, everybody has his career style, his style of life, and I would say this is somehow mine, because.
And you're talking about the building character and working on your mind and these things. How you go through your life and the fights and everything.
Yeah.
It develops by itself.
When you decide it here, the body will follow. That's a simple rule I believe in. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I question. If you work on like consciously on your mind, like making the visualization or this stuff, or or and during the fight, how to not lose the mind.
You have to get a focus. I mean, I can work with a lot of pressure. For me, it's no problem. I love this feeling, and it's like a motivation, because I know less people can do what we are doing. Less people step into a cage with this much pressure. This kind of sport. I mean, we're not playing soccer or basketball. I mean, it's fighting.
And how
it is fighting.
How do you describe this pressure to someone who never heard about MMA and first time is listening about it from you?
Honestly, the first things are, I said, okay, imagine you have an opponent for a couple of months. He's preparing to destroy you, to break your arm, to finish you somewhere. And you have this referee, and hopefully he gets through the right timing. Yes, it's simple as that. Because the person who's asking, he has to understand it's all about fear. So you have to manage the fear. And if you manage the fear, you learn how to manage the fear, you can do everything what you want. Fear doesn't exist in this way. You have to work with fear. That's the thing. And this is why if someone asking me, I'm telling, there's a guy killing you, what you gonna do? And most people are like, oh, I'm afraid to do something. What can I do? And this is all about fighting. You learn how to do in these stress situations, how you learn
to manage the fear.
Out of comfort zone, jump into the ice cold water and give it a try. You know, I mean, if you have a
just challenging yourself.
Yes, challenging yourself every day. If you have a hard training camp, hard sparring partner. There's nothing new in a cage. What you expect? You know everything. You felt everything. It's always about the mindset. How hard you want to train.
All right.
Yes, and I mean, if you grow up with that, with this kind of reality, you know, it's no problem to challenge yourself because it's always a challenge every day.
I can imagine. Yeah. Like your childhood must be had to be so crazy, different. I mean, so much different. Yeah. So what's now? Like, I cannot wait also for your fight at Eintracht Stadium. Like, really, I'm super happy, even from my own side. We are proud that we can deliver this experience to you. Like, I'm really honestly happy about it. That you like you said, at the end of your days, you can look back and there will be this memory, and even in my life and so on. But I'm super happy that we are doing this together, and I hope there will be really 55,000 people.
Of course,
like crazy.
Of course.
Like you always say, people here in Frankfurt, like. Yeah, that you are loyal and crazy, so let's see, and I believe it will be like that.
You will be shocked by the Frankfurter Mauer. Those fans are special.
Yeah. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
And just let me know, like, what is next? Like, when you see I'm curious because you talk about the legacy, and I'm curious, what is that thing where you see yourself in, I don't know, 5-10 years, you will probably not be fighting anymore? And what do you want to do? What will be doing, like, giving this example or to new people?
You know, it's hard to make those predictions, but somehow I will be a part of MMA. Somehow, right now I'm sponsoring some fighters. I push, you know, into MMA. I want that MMA grows. And you see, when I start, where was MMA? And right now, end of my career, you see where it is. We're fighting here in front of 55,000. So this is a huge development, And young people only need to understand that there is a career, there is an option to create a nice life with MMA when you take it serious. When I started, it was like, oh, okay, I was studying, and I was studying economy and sports, and I was understanding really fast, it's not that what I want to do. And I was switching, and my father was asking, hey, you're crazy. It's okay if you would try to fight or try a couple of times fighting because of fun, but how you want to make a career out of this? Yeah. Who's watching this? Who's paying you? And I said, I don't know, father, but it's my decision and I can live with it somehow. So who cares? End of the story is, I was training, I was disciplined, I know what I love, and I was following those routes, those tracks. And now you see, there is success in life, and it's all about that. And I want to inspire people, young kids, to follow those steps, because there is something.
To not slip on the wrong direction. And
yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool, perfect. So I'm inviting you guys all to the stadium in Eintracht.
I'm inviting you. You have to come.
Yeah,
Ich will euch alle sehen. Ich schwöre es euch, das wird das krasseste Event. It will be crazy. I'm so...
It will be crazy.
I'm on fire.
It will be crazy.
I'm on fire.
October 12th, 12th,
12.10. Yeah.
12th, see you there, and good luck with the Pik Dame and all your
After that, we
legacy
will
in the
celebrate a
future.
little bit, yeah? Thanks, man.
And visit Pik Dame if you'll be in Frankfurt.
The biggest tournament in the history of Octagon at the football stadium in Frankfurt. Experience the view from the front row with pay-per-view. Watch the tournament live at octagon.tv.